It's no secret that the NFL has an offensive lineman problem. It seems that almost every team needs at least one or two guys to shore up their line, and this leads to players being overdrafted, with the hopes of one day being able to fill that hole. Is Maryland's Jaelyn Duncan the next great offensive lineman, or is he the latest in a long line of offensive tackles to be overrated? All those questions and more answered on today's 2-minute drill. Let's begin with the positives. Duncan is an excellent run blocker. He's able to use his great mobility to get to the second level in the flash and block linebackers for his running backs. He's also great at creating lanes in the run game on zone runs. He excels at all the basic run blocking concepts required for the NFL, like combo blocks and double teams. He has a great frame at 6'6" and has room to pack on weight without compromising his great movement skills and athleticism. For the negatives, the biggest one to me is that Duncan has 33.25-inch arms. In last year's class, that would have been fourth worst among offensive tackles. To overcome a short arm length, you need to be great in other facets of the game. Unfortunately for Duncan, he is not technically sound at all. He defaults to a two-hand punch on most of his pass blocking reps and whiffs constantly. He does not anchor well despite decent lower body strength and gets pushed back all the time. His biggest weakness are speed to power guys who can generate a head of steam against him and knock him back to get a free line right at the quarterback. He also can get beaten by speed around the edge due to his poor kick slide. His hand placement is also very hit or miss. There are times where he stonewalls pass rushers, but other times where he just gets tossed like a rag doll. He also seems to have constant miscommunication and missed blocks on the line and in space. For a player comp, Jaelyn Duncan reminds me of Cody Ford. This is not a comp that's based on traits or measurements, but more of situation. It's unclear to me at this point whether the NFL will view Duncan as a guard or a tackle, a problem faced similarly by Cody Ford. Ford never really managed to stick at a position, constantly flip-flopping between tackle and guard. If Duncan can improve his technical skills and pack on some weight, he could be a starter at the tackle position. We've seen recent examples of players, like Rashawn Slater, who have succeeded at the tackle position despite less than ideal arm length. For draft range, Duncan is one of those players previously mentioned that will probably go higher than he deserves. I think that he is a second or third round player at best, and preferably starts out as a guard or backup tackle. However, with the tackle situation as bleak as it is in the NFL, I think that Duncan, pending some strong combine numbers, might be able to sneak into the end of the first round. And that's the 2-minute drill.